Peace. I wanted to take a moment and build briefly about a couple of ideas before I head into my preschool class about being successful in our undertakings. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is practicality. The second thing I wanted to talk about is how we define and see our goals. The first thing in regards to practicality is I oftentimes see people going live or they may post things online and it may be very inspirational or encouragement heavy. But oftentimes people just walk away without any kind of practical method to apply what it is that they just said or shared. And one of the things that I've done for years now is I don't go to sleep until I've learned something new that day. Every single day. If you had a chance to talk to me yesterday or the day before, there's something that I could have articulated to you that I've learned new that day. And that is something that's vitally important in regards to us being successful in our undertakings because it is a practical way to measure our growth and development each and every day. In my after school program, sometimes I'm talking to some of my youth and I always ask them, how was your day today? And they give me the customer service response, it was good. And then I go a little deeper. What was good about your day? Sometimes they could articulate something to me about how good their day was. Most of the time, they're just like, well, I really don't know. Or if I ask them, what was the best part of your day? What inspired you the most? Or what was the most interesting part of your day? Sometimes my youth can't really articulate something. And what it shows me is they've just gone through an 8-hour period of being on autopilot. And that's not something that's just restricted to youth. We all may experience that at some times when we just go through a day and we really just got through the day. There's nothing that we could have actually articulated and say, well, this is something that was interesting. This is something that inspired me. This is something that I learned that new that day. So what I've done over the years is I've made it a point to be intentional about something that I learned each and every day to the point that I'm able to articulate it well enough to measure the fact that I've learned something new that day. And it could be anything. It could be an article that you've read about a certain type of medical technique that they're practicing now in a certain country. It could be something you've learned about a celebrity that you didn't know before that may be inspirational in terms of things that you could identify with in your life. It could be anything, but there should be something you've learned new every single day. And you can start that today. Don't just go through your day on autopilot. And then by the time you lay down tonight, there's nothing that you could say you learned new. Learn something new every single day. And that is one of the most practical approaches of growth and development that is something that is of value to any and everybody. Everybody needs inspiration and encouragement, but everybody definitely needs practical methods in terms of being successful in their undertakings. The second thing I wanted to talk about is how we define and see our goals. One of the things I mentioned in the past is our goals are more like impressionist art. And if you've ever seen impressionist art, when you're standing back looking at it, it looks like a whole picture. But the closer you get, you realize that it's a bunch of small dots to actually make the picture that you're looking at from a distance. And our goals are the exact same way. Our goals are not just one big destination or one big state or one big place we want to get at. Our goals are really a succession or a sequence of small goals, a bunch of small goals that we've accomplished that actually becomes the larger goal. It's the same thing with a relationship. Oftentimes, even if it looks like a shotgun wedding, there was some type of investment, even if it was 30 days, in that relationship. There were some stages or a sequence of events that took place to build as blocks to create that structure or that building. So it's the exact same way with our goals. If you have a large goal, that large goal is nothing more than a composite of smaller goals. So start where you are. If you want to get a vehicle or invest in a car or something long down the line, you see yourself driving a vehicle a year from now, you need to start investing in that idea right now. You need to start modifying some of the spending habits that you have right now in order for you to reach that goal a year from now. So every large goal that we have is really just a composite of a bunch of smaller goals. And the more smaller goals that you can accomplish and get under your belt, the more you are properly investing in that larger goal that you want to see made manifest somewhere down the line. So I will this was inspiring, empowering, and educating, and gave those of you a little bit of insight into what was on my mind in regards to being successful in our undertakings. To summarize, you always have to have a practical approach towards being successful in your undertakings. And one of the most practical approaches is to learn something new every single day and learn it well enough that you can articulate what it is that you learn new that day. That is a way of measuring your growth and development incrementally or every single day. Secondly, your largest goal, no matter how large it is nothing more than a composite of a bunch of smaller goals. So the more successful goals or sequence of goals that you can accomplish that are small, they will build and gain the momentum and become the larger goal. So focus on where you're at right now. Do the things that you can do to accomplish those goals, because in the process you're also developing the self-confidence, you're developing the assurity, the trust, the foundation to support the larger goal once you do arrive at that place. So peace. I encourage you to go and check out my articles that I write on Asia at www.atlantischool.blogspot.com. I have a lot of information there. On my right sidebar, I have episodes of my radio show, Atlantis Bill Talk Radio, as well as books that you can check out. And all of them are taking the exact same approach in regards to success in our undertakings and giving you practical examples of how to reach those goals when it comes to success. Thanks and peace.